Hi there, it's Diane Evans with stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if you're watching this, make sure that you're subscribed onto my YouTube channel, and you can do that right there. Or if you're through Facebook, just make sure that you let StreamYard know. Now, this is pre-recorded. This is for my card sketch number 171. I just happened to be away at a Stampin' Up! Event. I could be popping on during it live, depending on my internet that I do get when I'm in Vegas. Like I say, it's for a Stamping Up thing. So welcome. Don't forget to put this in as a challenge. Onto my Facebook group, and that's the Stamping with Diane Stampers group that you put that in. If you live in Canada, you could be drawn to win a stamp set, or if you live outside of Canada, it would have to be like a tutorial because I can't give anything away outside of Canada. In any event, card sketch number 171. Let's go on down to the bottom. Very easy card sketch. It kind of looks a little strange, doesn't it? It's just the regular card base. Whenever I go regular card base, that means the finished card base. We have a layer, and then this is the third layer, and then these are actually images or dies. And once you see what I use, you will understand why this sketch came about. Very simple, but I think it's quite an elegant card sketch, or the card itself. I'm going to be using the Joy of Noel. It's a bundle. It's actually a part of a suite, but it also has these dies and this one as well. Now, I am using this particular die, and the die looks like this. And take a look. All of a sudden, it looks like my sketch, right? So that is how I basically came about this. I had to show something that was on this side that would let you see that it means a little bit more to it. So, and then you would put your own sentiment on it. Like I say, really easy. It could just be a strip. It could be where you have some fronds coming out. You could have some, like a flower over here or a flower over there. But that gives you the idea. And like I say, the use of these sketches is just so that it encourages you to think a little bit outside the box. Now, the other part that I just love with this is this Noel. I think it's amazing. And it also has a die that cuts out as well. So I'm going to show you my card, or I'll show you my pieces, my bits and pieces to my card. And then you'll see, like I say, this is part of actually a swap card that I did, or that I'm doing within Canada. And I see I've missed, something is missing from this kit, but we can fix that up very, very quickly. And then you can see kind of how I put it together as well. Okay, so I do have a piece of cherry cobbler. The cherry cobbler happens to be 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then what that does do is that gets down to my regular card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. And like I say, I do that on all of my card sketches. My card sketches come from cards that I've developed, and then I turn them into a sketch. And then I went and I ran this embossing folder through with the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. Now, it's really hard to tell which is the right way and the wrong way. And I thought I had put the treble clefs off to one side. I think that's the right way. Somebody told me that it was kind of a mirrored image, so that it wouldn't matter, but I still think it kind of does matter. I do have a card that's already made up, so let me see if I can kind of look at a couple pieces and make sure that it's so strange how, I think this is it. It looks to me like the treble clef just came. Oh, I'm going to put it this way. I think this is the way that it goes. And this piece happens to be your first layer on your card sketch, which says that it's 4 by 5 1/4. And when I went ahead and used this here, I just went and just took the measurement of that. Now, what we're going to do with that cut out of the Noel, I'm going to show you how you can actually go ahead and place this. Now, I cut it out of the distressed gold. And I've gone ahead and put some small embossing, some small dimensionals on there. Oh, let me straighten this up. But I'm going to come in and I'll show you how I put these on here. I just grabbed my take your pick tool. And I just put the dimensionals in only 2 on each one. And then it's actually the placing of this that is, I think, the hardest part. So before I put this on there, I went and I just took my N. And you got to make sure, because the N, that isn't the right way for the N. This is the right way. I know it goes straight almost up to the top. I think there's probably about a 32nd of an inch there. And then I came in with my ruler. And of course, now I don't have my ruler here. I will just grab something to show you what you can use. There we go. We'll just use a ruler here. So all I'm doing is I'm just lining that up just like that. And then you go to the very last letter. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And then I'll kind of eyeball it, see how it looks. If I don't like it, then I'll turn around and get it fixed. Whoops. So we're going just with, you know what, that comes over. Just gotta see. This needs to come up just a bit and over a bit. So you can see how that goes. Again, just double check before we make sure that we move on to the next letters. And then with the O, we're going to place the O next. And then the E is going to go in between. And that's the best way when you've got like things to put in, is just go with one edge and another edge. And see that? That O is down quite a bit. Oops. Let's just bring that up a bit. And then the E can go in there as well. And there's not much in between. Let's just go and check that out. And then we're going to eyeball it and see how that looks. It's not too bad. The more you play with it, sometimes the worse it gets. Now, at this point, I could have turned around and I could have lifted this up. See how we're doing that sketch? It's almost identical, right? All right. So it just shows you how you can actually go and take, you know, different things and make it so that it works, right? Like, just use the way it looks on there and just go from there, right? Now let's go and put this on there. Just like so. Like that. And I fought with myself, and I wasn't sure whether or not if I wanted to put this Joyous Noel, this joyous here, if I wanted to put that across there. Or I could have even gone Making Spirits Bright, but I didn't think that went with Noel. But joyous does. And at that point, I'll show you what I had in mind. I decided to go against it because I didn't quite like it. So I went and I embossed the joyous on cherry cobbler, and I didn't like that. And then I did it with, this is Mossy Meadow. And to me, it just sort of blended in and it did nothing on it. So unfortunately, that thought process didn't work too well on there. And then what worked really good is I went and I took this one here. excuse me. And I just went and put this onto a block. I used that Noel so much that I kept the die in that particular one. And you know what? The Mossy Meadow is not on my desk here. And I'm going, where did my Mossy Meadow ink go to? Well, it's not where it should be. So what I could do is I could go ahead and stamp here. Definitely the garden green will not go good on that. You need to have the Mossy Meadow. I don't have that ink pad here. I must have had it out for another stamp set. So what I would do is I'd take this and then I would just put that right down there on the inside. And now we also have to go and put some embellishments on here. Now these are the neutral sequins. They're they come in the gold, bronze, white, and copper. And you can see I've used an awful lot of the gold. So I'm just going to put one there. Just put another one right here. Very simple card. And one here. And there's our card for the card sketch. So like I say, I really wish I had that color so that I could show you that particular one. And I know I didn't use any Mossy Meadow down at the other end of the table. Let me just take one more quick look right here. You just never know. It might just be sitting right in here. Nope. So like I say, I would put this frond here just like that with the Mossy Meadow and attach it to the inside. So pretty quick card sketch. Don't forget, if you like this, give me the thumbs up. Share my video. I really do appreciate it. That's one of the highest forms of a compliment that you can give me. Make sure that you do enter into the draw. And by entering into the draw, you go down below into the Stampers with Stamping with Diane Stampers group and post a picture of your interpretation of the sketch. I will see you back on Monday. I will be back from my Stampin' Up! Trip at 1 o'clock Pacific time, and that's where I'll be doing a fancy fold or a 3D project. So I hope you'll join me then. Also remember, if you are if you live in Canada and do not have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. I do have a fairly, for an online presence, I do have a fairly good word program. In any event, you guys, have a great day. Remember to create because it's great for the soul. Bye for now.